Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Oh, it's clear. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me. Take a look at me now. Just look at me now. What's the price of what just look at me now. Eyes up on me. Take a look at me now.
Takes on the strike. Side body.
Chelsea are champions.
Good evening. So we are into the penultimate weekend of the season, and the race for the Barclays Women's Super League title continues to excite us with some unexpected thrills and spills. So did the Reds of Merseyside spoil Emma Hayes' last chance at a trophy in her final season at Chelsea?
Here we are at Prenton Park, home of Liverpool women. Chelsea come here chasing a title. They could miss out on all silverware. Comes that corner to the far post. Crowd of players, 1-0 Chelsea. Free header at the near post and they lead. New skin could be two. It's cleared away by Taylor Heights. Comes the corner kick, well struck and run in, and Liverpool have equalised. 1-1 at Prenton Park. Hollanders in there, Bonner with the flick on, they've scored again! And Chelsea's title dream is in tatters. Gemma Bonner, their former player, puts Liverpool 2-1 up. Wrighton looks to play Charles in, slips it square, big chance, and they're back level, and it's Aggie Beaver-Jones. Or will Liverpool get another? Here's an opportunity for Kiernan! They've given it away again. Oh, she skipped beyond Fisk, she's pulled it back. Nakaria, it's gone in through a crowd of legs. This is sensational, 3-3. Liverpool will deliver another devilish set piece into that penalty area. It's gone in, and Liverpool are back in front of 4-3. Beaver-Jones, that is a brilliant save from Tegan Micah. And Chelsea's dream of another title is surely shattered. It's a Liverpool victory that puts Manchester City in the box seat and one win away surely from the title.
I think the title's done, and our job between now and the end of the season is just to keep pushing until the end, but I think it'll be very, very difficult.
So that was an incredible result at Prenton Park, and Manchester City could increase their chances at the title with a win over Arsenal at the Joy Stadium. Emma Hayes said there that the title is done, but Chelsea could stay in the hunt with a result over relegated Bristol City. And while Liverpool, they look to capitalise on that triumphant win as they locked horns with Manchester United. And we will bring you the very best of the action from across the rest of the weekend's matches. And alongside me, ready to delve into it with our expert analysis, is the Northern Ireland manager, Tanya Oxtoby. And also we have WSL Hall of Famer, Anita Asante. But we will start then with an eye-catching tie at the top of the table as Manchester City look to continue their push for a first title since 2016 against one of the strongest opposition they're yet to face on home soil. It was Arsenal. On commentary duty were Rachel Brown-Finnis and Robin Cowan.
Let's get the team news then. It's one change from the Manchester City side that beat Bristol City last weekend. Kirsten Kasperai comes in to make her 50th Manchester City appearance. She replaces Alana Kennedy, with Laia Alexandri moving to centre-half. Chloe Kelly, who started her career at Arsenal, makes her 100th City appearance. Mary Fowler is tasked with filling the boots of the injured Bunny Shaw. She's stepped up so far with 3 goals and 3 assists in her last 5 WSL appearances. It's 4 changes for Arsenal from the draw against Everton. Laia Kadina replaces Steph Catley in defence. There are significant alterations in the midfield. Kyra Cooney-Cross starts a WSL game for the first time since November, and Frida Mornham is named in the 11 for the first time since her collapse in the Continental Cup final against Chelsea. Chloe Lacasse replaces Stina Black-Stenius, who drops to the bench. Alessia Russo leads the line. She has scored 4 goals in her last 3 appearances and is 1 away from recording her best return in a single season. And there is the stricken Bunny Shaw. 21 WSL goals this season, named Football Writers Association Player of the Year, and has to watch from the bench. But, my word, has she put them in a good position to take the title from here. Manchester City currently on a record-equalling 14-match winning run in the Women's Super League. And if they win today, they will break the record that was set by Arsenal. That's a good ball into the path of Palova. It's Mead, beaten away. Oh, that was Marnham with the effort. Oh, it's a bit of a mess here for Manchester City.
Kiara Keaton did well, barely touched the ball this first half. He's there when Manchester City need her.
Hemp picks it up. Spots Fowler. Takes it beautifully. Curls it towards the back post. Good defensive header from Fox. It's Hemp! It is devastating! And it is the captain, Steph Houghton, who is at the centre of the celebrations on her final home game as a City player. It's another gorgeous finish from Lauren Hemp, who has her 10th WSL goal of the season.
It's just classic Lauren Hemp from that position there. How many times do we see her have quick feet, quick thinking, sharp touch, little yard of space, and then it's just an electric, sharp finish. And this is just what City do.
Hemp. Space for Park. And options, it's Kelly. Didn't connect.
Beautiful goal that would have been, just didn't have the incisive finish. Chloe Kelly would have expected better from herself.
Kim Little. McCabe. Worked nicely. Back to Mead. Just wide. Well, that was a big opportunity. It was pinballing around in there.
Look at that for a glorious opportunity. Lovely little touch from Codina on the stretch, gets underneath it. It's great to see Arsenal come out with some intent the second half.
Hasegawa forces her way through and finds Jess Park. Fowler away from McCabe. The pullback is well defended by Williamson in the first instance, but Park. Fowler! Saved by Zinsberger.
Key save from Zinsberger. Pulled back Jess Park and it ping-ponged around. Nobody really got a foot on it. No Arsenal player could clear it properly. And it fell to Mary Fowler on a preferred left foot, who drilled it low and hard. Excellent save from Zinsberger.
The title could be, in theory, decided today. If Manchester City go on to win this, and Chelsea drop any points against Bristol City later on. Oh, Beth Mead's won it back. It's Mead, straight at Keating. Should have done better with that.
She had more time. It's a ball from Keaton, that's fine, Hasegawa, but she tries to let it run, and Beth Mead preys on that. Just wasteful from Arsenal.
Very animated. Can still get something out of this game, Arsenal. Here's Blackstenius. That's a great ball, it's Ford! How on earth has that stayed out?
Head in hands moment. Everyone in Arsenal shirts. Lovely ball from Blackstenius, and you thought that this was going to be in.
But all the pressure coming from Arsenal late on in this game. And they've scored a few late goals this season. 12 in the final 15 in the WSL, to be precise. Williamson. Hatley got ahead to it. Russo has to settle for a corner.
It's right in front of those travelling away fans.
Mead delivers. First contact won by Arsenal. It's still there for them. It's Blackstenius! Would you believe it? a twist in the title race. And Stina Blackstenius scores another late goal against Manchester City.
Manchester City have not been decisive in defending corners. It's Caitlin Ford here who gets across, nods it purposefully to the foot of Blackstenius. Blackstenius comprehensively swipes that home. And he's believed it. They've believed it and they've delivered. You saw the intention of Arsenal. They ran straight back into their half after the goal. They wanted to get the game restarted. They want to try and get the win.
Ford skipping to the byline, tried to pick out Blackstenius. Beautifully done by Kim Little. Arsenal pushing. Blackstenius! Oh my word! Arsenal have turned this around with the late show. A starring role for Stina Blackstenius.
That was just simply brilliant. Lovely play down that left-hand side. Ball gets driven in, and it's a textbook centre-forward strike. Drifts off the back shoulder of Alex Greenwood, unnoticed. And it's a precision finish. And the Arsenal bench erupts.
And shots fired in the title race. Manchester City seemingly on the verge of claiming the WSL title, but Stina Blackstenius had other ideas. The Cat has been put amongst the Pigeons. Full time at the Joy Stadium. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 2.
We show it's a real squad game because we knew that before. It's what's important that we started well, but so really important that we finished well. And I think we had some real quality coming up from the bench today as well. So I think we managed the game well in that regard.
We knew this was a big game for us, and I think we haven't won here in 4 years or something. So it was important for us to come here and win today.
Probably a little bit harsh on us, particularly losing the game. I thought it was probably draw may have been a fair result, even for us leading for such long periods. We didn't quite get going enough in the second half, probably surrendered a bit of space, allowed them to put a few more direct balls into the box. And yeah, like I say, it's a tough one, but we have another opportunity.
It's not over till it's over. The twists and turns continue in this brilliant title race. And interestingly, it's been so competitive, it's been back and forth. And in previous seasons, no team has won the league title having lost 3 games, but that is now going to happen this season. Tanya, do you expect that result today?
Look, I thought it was going to go either way, and I thought Man City had enough of the chances in the first half. They probably should have put the game to bed, but they left the door open, and Arsenal did what Arsenal do, and scored 2 late goals. So it was great. It was great to watch.
Great for the neutrals, perhaps not for Manchester City, and I suppose tonight they may well be regretting a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was great because it puts the title race back in the balance. And that's what everyone wants to see, you know, 2 teams really going for it to the last day. And Man City might rue, you know, the chances that they missed today.
Yeah, it'll go right down to the wire. Let's have a look at the action then. Because Manchester City were really on top in that first half. Lauren Hemp doing what Lauren Hemp does, Tanya.
Look, she's been in such amazing form this season, and yet again she showed her class today, picking the ball up, driving at the Arsenal defence here, and this touch from Mary Fowler to be able to bring it back inside and deliver. Hemp stays alive, and it's all about the first touch here for me. You know, she sets herself up to be able to swivel and strike, and she does that so well and so often, and it makes it really difficult. I know Neitz is going to probably talk about defending here, but you know, that first touch sets herself up to then be able to have her next touch as a strike with, you know, such venom that actually there's not much that can be done from that point on.
Yeah. It was interesting then after the break seeing Arsenal come out and wrestle control. Jonas Eidevall made 4 substitutions and they really changed the game. Kim Little coming on at the break, and then Catley, Ford and Blackstenius, who ended up scoring 2 of the goals, just changed things totally.
Yeah, I was surprised that Kim didn't start, but you see here the outswing and delivery from Beth Mead into the far post area in a really dangerous area that, you know, it's bouncing around, and Ford gets the nick into an area where Blackstenius can just poke it past Keating. and that just swung the momentum. You felt that Arsenal then grew in confidence. And again here, you know, they had control. They started to pin Man City back. Kim Little dictating things, finds Blackstenius again, who's able to just nod it. But look at this movement from Blackstenius. She just draws the centre-back Greenwood and the full-back Wahabi and then darts in behind to then connect with that ball. That's fantastic forward movement.
Fantastic forward movement as well from the other side of that celebration.
He
Absolutely did, didn't he? Manchester City had a lot of chances, particularly in the first half, to actually put this game away.
Yeah, they did. They had the momentum early, and you know, this is a typical Man City move here. You know, getting down to the byline and looking for the cutback space. And as I said, you know, earlier, another carbon copy here, but they had some really good opportunities to close the door when they had the momentum. And looking back on this game, they'll be really disappointed that they weren't a little bit more clinical, because, you know, this one here from Mary Fowler, it's a great save, but you would back her on her preferred foot to put that in the back of the net.
Yeah, plenty of questions, I'm sure, for Gareth Taylor tonight. One game of the season for them to go, but it was the final home game for Steph Horton, who's been such a big part of Manchester City over the years. She wasn't able to celebrate with a home victory, but she was celebrated by everybody in attendance, her dad and her grandmother there. So proud of as punch of what Steph has achieved in the game, both for England and Manchester City and club football over the years. Tanya, how big of a miss will she be?
Yeah, look, she's an icon of the game and of the WSL, so I think she will leave a massive hole. But it's a credit to her in terms of the work she's done to leave Man City in such an amazing place and to bring, you know, leaders through that club. And she can, you know, I think players talk about leaving the shirt in a better place. She's left a whole club and an entire, you know, I suppose women's football in a better place. She can be really, really proud of herself.
Yeah, she's made a mark, you know, in the game, and I think she's been a fantastic captain as well for England and for Man City, and she'll definitely be missed at the club.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we'll still see her in the game of football. But let's move on, because Emma Hayes, well, she ruled Chelsea out of the title after that loss to Liverpool in midweek. But with Arsenal upsetting Manchester City today, there was an opening again. And looking to capitalise, the Blues welcomed already relegated Bristol City for Hayes' final match at Kingsmeadow. Watching over proceedings was Mark Scott.
In her final home game in charge, Emma Hayes makes 7 changes to the Chelsea side, beaten 4-3 at Liverpool on Wednesday. Niamh Charles, Millie Bright, Erin Cuthbert and Aggie Beever-Jones are the only players to keep their places. She says that the selection was made yesterday and isn't down to Manchester City's defeat earlier. That means goal difference is suddenly back in play. Bristol City are changed by 4 from the team that began the 4-0 loss at home to Manchester City, which confirmed their relegation from the WSL. Lauren Smith brings Fran Bentley, Silly Struck, Ella Power and Carrie Jones into the starting lineup. Chelsea look revved up early on here. Nusken. Brighton, cleverly done. Charles is after it and goes over, and that's a penalty. Chelsea have made a fast start and get themselves an early chance to take the lead from the spot. It looked a penalty, and I think it is the right decision. So Guro Reiten will take this penalty. They've scored all 3 of their penalties this season, 2 of them in the WSL, and they've all been converted by the Norwegian. And Reiten scores from the spot once again. And look at this, hungry to go and get the ball and try and add to the scoreline. She said that they're not focused on goal difference, but the way that Reiten went to collect this and get it back on the centre circle would suggest otherwise. Could be a long evening ahead for Bristol City. Ingle. First real foray forwards from the visitors. Napier. Still Jamie Lee Napier, and here's an opportunity, and Mušović with the save. And Bristol City so close to drawing level. Well, they were flat-footed there, Chelsea. Carrie Jones had the chance, and Mušović came up with a big save. Well, they can't allow their thoughts to drift towards how many goals they're going to rack up. They need to ensure they get the win in the first place. Well, they might not say that they are looking at the goal difference tally. They will want a big win. Remaining matches are both away. Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United, their final 2 fixtures. 2 teams that would love to get one over on them and prevent them lifting the trophy. So you can't imagine them finding it too easy in either of those games, but at home to the already relegated bottom side, it's their best chance to try and improve their goal-scoring record. And they might do so here. It's in. Chelsea have 2. Nuskin from close range eventually bundles home. Well, Bristol City thought that they'd done enough to avert the danger, but Sioka Nuskin was on hand. It's a scrappy goal, but they will not care. Did well here initially, Bentley, to keep Beaver Jones out. That's a really good save. Syme didn't get it away quickly enough, and Nuskin was onto it in a flash. Club's leading goal scorer in the modern era, 115 goals in 205 appearances. Kirby on for game number 206 now for the club. Cuthbert. Beaver Jones, and you knew what was coming next. Yet again, she scores when she starts in a WSL game. She's netted in all 5 matches now that she's been in the starting 11 for. 2 against Liverpool on Wednesday, and she gets number 3 for Chelsea this evening. And as soon as she was through here, you fancied there was only ever one outcome. Clinical from Aggie Beaver Jones again. Bjorn. Wrighton having a go and scoring a belter. Chelsea have 4, and the gap on Manchester City's goal difference is closing. Some way for her to bid farewell to Kingsmeadow. Chelsea 4 up and flying, and this flew into the net from Guro Wrighton. Got this absolutely inch perfect off the post and in. And Chelsea strike twice early in the second half, and now you fear for Bristol City. Kirby, Macario. Oh, nicely done. Wrighton on a hat-trick, gets it, and Chelsea hit 5. Oh, she might have said in the week that the title race was done. It doesn't look like it at the moment. They are right back in the mix now, Chelsea. And there is not going to be much to choose between them and Manchester City. It's a Wrighton treble. And it's the right way for Chelsea to say Kingsmeadow farewell to Emma Hayes. Might still be a silver lining at the end of Emma Hayes' final season at the Chelsea helm. That's a good-looking ball in. It's another. It's Niamh Charles, and they are racking them up now. Bristol City hit for 6, and Chelsea aren't done yet, both tonight and in the title race as well. It's a really neat finish from Niamh Charles on the half volley and beyond Bentley in the blink of an eye. Chelsea 6, Bristol City 0. Even she looks a little bit stunned. Good hit. And it's another. Wrighton has her 4th. Well, this is remarkable from Chelsea. They are making sure her last game here is one she will never forget. 7 up for Chelsea. And they are now level in the goal difference stakes with Manchester City. And Wrighton has a 4th. Cuthbert. Kirby. Opens up for her here. Wrighton stands it up. And there is number 8. Aggie Beever-Jones on target. It's all about the cross here. Such an inviting delivery from Guro Wrighton. Absolutely gorgeous ball. And it's buried beautifully by Beever-Jones as well. Chelsea have 8 into Manchester City's goal difference advantage and given Emma Hayes a very memorable final home game in charge of Chelsea. And if they win their game in hand, they will go top of the table going in to the final round of fixtures. Full-time Chelsea 8, Bristol City 0.
I think they wanted to make sure they put in the performance that was worthy of, you know, what champions look like, and we didn't want to go out on a whimper for Fran, for Maren. We wanted to make sure it was a game to remember for the fans. I've spent a third of my life doing this. This has been my home, my family. My family have been here, my son's been born here. I've had to experience my dad dying in the last year in a club that has been my entire heart.
They really turned the screw, and we were out of legs, out of ideas at that point, and we were just putting our bodies on the line. It was a quality display by them to make sure that they're still in the title race. So yeah, fair play.
Second half, I thought we were scintillating. That I've been waiting to see that for a bit. And Guro Wrighton, wow, what a performance from her.
We're never going to give up. We're always going to push, and from the first kick today till the last, we fought for every goal, and we deserved this. So 2 games to go. It's going to be fun.
It certainly is. A huge game from Guro Wrighton, but also, you know, for Chelsea over the last kind of 3-4 weeks or so, big moment for them, for Emma Hayes in her, you know, last game at home, to be able to bounce back in the way she did, considering, she said, Tanya, that the title race was done, that they were out of it in midweek.
Yeah, look, Emma, you know, she thinks about everything she says. She would have said that for a reason. But, you know, the result earlier in the day went their way. And to put in a performance like that at home in front of the fans, you know, what a way to sign off at Kingsmeadow. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Real end of the era there. Well, I know we're going to talk a little bit about a couple of the players who were given presentations at the end, but we've got to talk about Guro Wrighton in particular. 8 goals on the night, but she scored 4 of them. The first of them, Anisha, came from this penalty incident.
Yeah, it's just clever play. You see her invert here and that ball into Niamh Charles, and Jazz Bull, I think, just rushes out aggressively too quickly, and it's just a clumsy challenge really right on the line, you know, of the box. And I think, you know, the referee in this instance has made the correct decision, and the penalty was rightly awarded. But again, it's just, you know, who steps up? The Norwegian maestro Guro Wrighton, I think, taking the mantle of Maren Meldia, and again here inverts, attacking, opens up, facing forward, and what a wonderful strike that is. But Bristol have to defend that. They give her too much time and space.
Yeah, and that's where Guru's at her best, when she's sort of in that inside channel there. And you know, she has been waiting for a performance like this, you know, and you can't give her that much time and space on the edge of the box. You've got to put pressure on the ball there. And you know, I think Emma mentioned about, you know, wanting a senior leader to stand up and put in a performance, and Guro certainly did that tonight. Yeah,
I know Bristol City fans won't want me to be talking about it, but there's something about Chelsea facing Bristol City. They're the team that they have scored the most goals against, 67 goals that they've scored against them in the league since 2011. So maybe they thought they could, you know, push on, get that goal difference. They are now 1 ahead in terms of goal difference, and they have 2 matches left, while Manchester City have 1. So that is surely, as you could see the excitement in Guro Wrighton's face at the end, it's on.
Yeah, Guru's buzzing. I mean, they really feel that they have a chance now, and the belief. And tonight they were ruthless and they went for it, and they're asking the question again now of Man City.
And we've been waiting for a performance like that, I think, from Chelsea. You know, there hasn't really been one of those in the second part of the season. So, you know, to be that clinical and that ruthless, you could tell there was a bit of a shift in terms of the confidence that the group's got now, and it's in their hands.
So interesting, that pressure dynamic and everything like that, whether a team is in control or not, and where you go. It's fascinating. It keeps us entertained. For Bristol City, though, they did well in the first half. They were 2-0 down at the break. They were creating it, but Anita, maybe the decision-making not quite there.
Yeah, you know, in the moments where they could transition here, Carrie Jones gets the end of this through ball, and it's just a lack of conviction. It's almost a similar opportunity like the Guru Wrighton one, and he just wanted to really believe in that strike. Again, the ball is behind her teammate in this instance, and the attacking play just breaks down and stops the momentum, allows Chelsea to regroup.
And they had really, a fair bit of success where the fullbacks for Chelsea had gone a little bit high in those transition moments in behind. And I agree with you, Neitz. I just think there was that lack of belief almost in the final third when they got into those positions to really finish off their opportunities. And it could have been a very different game if they'd taken 2 of those in the first half.
It's been a little bit of a day of goodbyes. We've seen Steph Horton earlier, but also at Chelsea we've had Maren Melde announce that she's going to leave the club, and also Frank Kirby, and there was a couple of presentations after the game today. Frank Kirby, such a big part of this Chelsea club and journey over the last few years.
Frank Kirby is synonymous with Chelsea, 115 goals for the club. You know, I've been really lucky to play with her, and as someone who I've played with, it was always a joy because you just knew you could give her the ball and she would just make something happen. She's got that spark, she's got that creativity, and it's just so sad, obviously, to see her go. But what a player she's been for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think when Fran's on the pitch, something happens. And I think whether you're playing with her or you're having to manage a team against her, you know that she's got something special, and that's going to be really, really missed in that Chelsea dressing room for sure.
Yeah, you can see some of the stats on screen there. 150 goals in 106 appearances, and more trophies and titles than I can actually count up very quickly there. Right, let's move on then to Prenton Park, which hosted the dramatic 7-goal thriller with Chelsea in midweek. Now, though, Liverpool and Manchester United were level on points heading into this one today, but which side could come out on top to create some breathing space in 4th place? Commentary comes from Ben Andrews.
Nicely taken by Lucia Garcia. Katie Zelem helping it on. And Toon with the header. Scrappy in that middle third. Until that pass, that's brilliant. Leah Galton onside and right up the middle. Too close to Tegan Micah. Big crowd to aim at with this corner. Nelson getting up there, and Millie Turner! Well, she struck it really well, but it's straight up the middle. Liverpool made the set pieces count so well here against Chelsea in midweek. This is rather further out. The flicked on, and Kerry Holland. Well, that had some movement on it. Earps grabs it gratefully second time around. Herbinger just slipped as she crossed it out by Turner. Paris trying to start off the counter-attack, but Fuka Nagano has come in and won it back here. Fisk. Good flat ball in towards Enderby, and it's spun for Koivisto here, twice, no. Just didn't have the time to react off the upright, Emma Koivisto. So close, what a chance. Header well won. The race now between Gemma Evans and Emma Koivisto has hit the hoardings hard there. Well, there was a little nudge from Gemma Evans. I can't believe she'd have known she was going to do that. There'll be some concern here for Emma Koivisto. Thumping hit on the hoardings. And Matt Beard has clearly said too much here. He's off. Well, that's not going to go down well at Prenton Park. Red card for the Reds coach. Protecting his players, he will say, but off he goes. Sophie Hag dispossessed. Zelem. Nalsund. With a teaser down the channel. Lucia Garcia is going to get there. A couple in the middle, including Galton and Toon, who has missed it by quite a long way. First half full of chances. Herbing whipping it in. Great ball and in! Right on the goal line. It's Jenna Clark's first Liverpool goal to set up a Prenton Park farewell to remember for Liverpool here. All about that ball in though. Clark couldn't miss. Herbing cleverly back to Taylor Hines. Kerry Holland holding off the challenge, nicely done. Hines with the ball in, and a brilliant ball in. And Sophie Roman-Howe couldn't quite put the finishing touch on it. That was really well worked. Katie Zellum, always on free kicks for United. This is it. Big crowd to aim at. And Malada! Good effort, saved by Micah to keep Liverpool on track for a double over United. And a swap of position too. Big stop.
It's never easy to put a defeat to bed, never easy, but what it does is it can fuel you. So we can go, right, okay, how do we now approach this game? Full focus on Tottenham. There's obviously a huge moment for both clubs, and let's try and get ourselves absolutely right. We'll make sure we put our work in to be ready for the final.
It's been a brilliant week. Obviously we've made really good progress in terms of trying to secure that 4th place spot, but we know that the job's not done yet. We've got to go to Leicester and make sure we take the 3 points there too.
Yeah, big result for Liverpool in that game to jump into 4th. It's been a great season for them so far, and the opening goal coming from Jenna Clark. You might have a word to say about some of the defending though, Anita.
Yeah, it's a great delivery into an area, but if you look at Man United and the structure, the markers are all dragged out near the near post area, and they leave the whole, centre of the goal open to be attacked in all that space. And for me, that's not acceptable defending.
Yeah. A brilliant week, though, for Liverpool. That just sensational game against Chelsea that just had us all on the edge of our seats, and then to get that win there. And, it's been a good season for them.
It has. And, that game the other night against Chelsea was just, it had everything in it. And, they've obviously taken a lot of confidence from that performance and carried it over. And, as their assistant manager said there, they've had a great week. They feel like they're in a really good place, and they've got their eye on that 4th place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they've been the surprise package this season. They've got wins against Arsenal, Man United in the reverse fixture, and again against Chelsea. So, credit to them.
Yeah. There was plenty of chances in that game for a game to end 1-0, and Manchester United, I'm sure, will rue not making some of them.
Yeah, you'd expect Galton to put this away 9 times out of 10. It's a great weighted pass straight through the middle of the Liverpool defence. And this one here, they've got first contact and a strike on goal, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. And this one here, obviously, coming across, you'd expect Toon to at least hit the target here, and that's probably indicative of a Man United move there, and it wasn't finished off.
But lots of credit has to go to Tegan Mika as well. She made some fantastic saves throughout the game that just gave that foundation for Liverpool to build on throughout the game.
Yeah. Opportunity next week for Manchester United to have bigger smiles on their face. They're in the FA Cup final against Tottenham. That's next Sunday. But we have got 3 more matches to bring you, starting with Tottenham's trip to Everton. The Lily Whites hoped they could avoid falling victim to the Toffees like their North London neighbours did last weekend. Flo Pollock reports.
Everton had never lost to Tottenham at home in the Barclays WSL, and they started brightly on Saturday, going ahead after just 10 minutes through Sarah Holmgar. Moments later, they doubled their lead when Justine van Havermaet bundled in from close range after Spurs failed to clear the corner. After the shock of going 2 down, the visitors settled into the game and began to create chances. Courtney Brosnan with an excellent stop to deny Beth England. After dispossessing Van Havermaet, Drew Spence was next to test Brosnan, but again could only find the woodwork. Tottenham were relentless and half the deficit on the stroke of half-time when Spence tapped into an open net after a superb ball from Evelina Summanen. Another moment of miscommunication from the Toffees saw Spurs level after the restart, England converting from close range for her 4th goal in as many Barclays WSL games. 2-2 the final score.
Except the first 15 minutes, we are extremely good in possession and we're creating a lot of chances. I think we have 26 shots or something like that, and it's some really good chances. On the other hand, when you're down 2-0 quite early, it's quite impressive how they dare to play and keep playing like they do players, and coming back to 2-2 is still then okay, but we need to learn how to win games, and we should have won today.
West Ham were winless in 7 Barclays WSL matches heading into their meeting with Leicester City, but went ahead inside the opening 15. Rico Ueki scoring with her 5th league goal of the campaign. Against the run of play, Leicester equalised before the break when Sophie Howard found space to beat Mackenzie Arnold after Jutta Rantala's superb corner. The Foxes piled on the pressure in the second half and had the better of the chances, but the Hammers defended resolutely to hold on for a point.
We should be coming here and getting 3 points. I thought first half we probably weren't up to our standard. We didn't get out of first gear, and then look, I thought the players responded brilliantly in the second half, and look, we created the chances, and if you don't take them, you don't win the games. So yeah, hugely disappointed.
Aston Villa had won the previous 2 meetings against Brighton, and they had the better of the early exchanges on Saturday, with Rachel Daly shooting just wide. The Seagulls showed flashes of promise on the counter-attack though, and went close through Elizabeth Turland. Villa came close to breaking the deadlock through Kirsty Hansen, but her shot deflected back off the crossbar. The visitors were finally rewarded for their efforts in the 64th minute when the ball fell kindly to Alicia Lehmann. The Swiss striker's 2nd goal in as many games was enough to secure all 3 points for Carla Ward's side in a week when the manager announced her departure from the club at the end of the season.
It's been one that I made a few months ago, so I've been trying to come to terms with it myself, and then announced it obviously to players and staff yesterday, and then publicly. But yesterday was quite an emotional day, I'm not going to lie. It's tough because I love the club, I love the players, the staff, the fans, but sometimes you have to reflect on your own self and where you're at mentally and physically, and it was a moment where I feel I need a break, because if I carry on, I think either I'll struggle or the team will struggle. So the reality is, you know, I've got a 4-year-old daughter that needs a mum and doesn't see me enough, and I think 8 years full-time, back-to-back between the clubs, and I'm ready for a break.
Yeah, important to hear that perspective from Carla there, Tanya, and the realities of being a top-end manager.
Yeah, look, you know, it's if you're going to do this job well, you fully commit. And as she mentioned there, she's been doing this now back-to-back for 8 years, and you know, your family comes first and they're your priority, and it's really, really difficult to try and juggle that and get that, you know, equilibrium. It's never balanced, but get the equilibrium right, and she feels like she needs a recharge. So, you know, she's done a great job, and be interesting to see where we see her next.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll mention one of the other games just because there was a great showing from Courtney Brosnan to keep Spurs out from potentially snatching a winner.
Yeah, I mean, Courtney was fantastic throughout the game. You just see here making that last-ditch save, strong right-hand palm to deflect the ball away when Tottenham were building momentum and pressure, especially in that second half. And, you know, she's the sort of player, her communication skills, you know, she's in playing Walton Hall, you can hear all the way in London, I think. Yeah. And, you know, the players know what their role and responsibilities are in their area, but look at how she commands this space and is ready to just get big, get her feet out and make that block. And again, when the ball turned over and Tottenham were building those pressure, taking shots on, she was ready and you know, focused to make those saves, and it was important for Everton, and they've just kept building game on game recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're going to have Manchester United in the FA Cup final next Sunday, so we will see how that goes. But we know in 2 weeks' time it's going to be end of the Women's Super League, so this is how the Barclays table stands heading into that final weekend. Manchester City, they remain on top by 3 points. Chelsea play their game in hand, though, against Spurs on Wednesday, the 15th of May, but they now have goal difference in their advantage. Liverpool then have leapfrogged Man United to take 4th place. Everton's point means they overtake Brighton in 8th, and Bristol City were already relegated. They remain on 6 points at the bottom of the table. So plenty of sport coming up on the BBC. There's live coverage of the World Snooker Championship final. That continues tomorrow at 1 o'clock on BBC Two. Also on BBC Two later in the week, Diamond League Athletics. The season getting started on Friday evening from Doha. Coverage starting there at 5 o'clock. And then also head to Sounds for the Tooney and Russo show as best friends Ella and Alessia let Vic Hope into their friendship. The first 3 episodes are available now and it's worth a listen. And also for you cricket fans, this is coming soon.
See, hear, live. All the best T20 moments live. England against Pakistan.
Oh, this is huge!
The Women's International T20 Series, Saturday at 2:15, live on BBC Two and iPlayer.
So very quickly, before we go, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to win the title?
Too close to call. There's
Oh,
more
come
twists.
on.
There is
Come
more
on.
twists.
Come on, Tanya.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
Okay, Anita?
I'm on the fence, actually.
No, no
Yeah.
fence
I'm
sitting
sorry,
here.
I
No
think it's
fencing
too
sitting.
tight to call. I
No,
won't put my house
Anita.
on it. So.
Tanya did it.
I know, she didn't. Well done, Tanya.
Well, we're out of time. I can't even press you for an answer. Thank you to Tanya and to Anita. As always, 2 trophies in 2 weeks up for grabs. FA Cup final next weekend. And then just how will this brilliant WSL season end? We'll see you first. Bye-bye.
It's him! It's blocked Sirius! Oh my word!
Beaver Jones! Brighton scoring a belter! Brighton on a hat-trick! Gets it! And it's another! Brighton has her 4th.